roads far from home. This is where I belong. In my baby, to my mama. See ya, bro. Lonely roads.
歩き疲れ佇むと浮かんでくる
Wait, Donna's in this episode? That's it. Perfect. 5 out of 5. Absolutely flawless. Nothing more to say.
ふるさとの街
So, I have been informed by my editors that I am to leave my Donna fondness to those filthy fanfics and still provide an actual review. I mean, this is what I'd call a coda episode, you know. We've had a big moment, lots of plot and character just happening all over the place, so now the audience needs a moment to come down off that roller coaster. It's necessary, vital even, to stories, and part of the rhythm to these things. It seems fair to rate something like this a 3 out of 5 when, by its nature, it can't ever be anything more. There's not really a lot of plot to go on here, so let's talk about the characters. Let's get the most obvious one out of the way first. Nick's arc. I've said before that I'm not this, as I think the revelation that the senseless violence against him and his family was planned all along makes it, well, not senseless at all, and that weakens the meaning and impact of his character. But I will admit, we did get a very nice scene between him and Sam. The problem was, it was only that one scene. And when I saw it, I understood what the biggest flaw in this episode was. The whole thing had been structured with a focus on Dean, a kind of last rites of the damned, the dead man walking kind of trope. There's nothing wrong with that, but then when you get to this scene, you realize this should have been Sam's episode, especially given that previously on Nihilism, we literally went into Dean's mind. We examined him as a character in the most literal way that we can. It's time for the audience to see Sam's reaction in dealing with this. The show has always worked best where the Monsters of the Weeks had parallels with the characters, or were just absolutely hilarious on their own. For example, episode 404, Metamorphosis, works so well because the Monsters arc in that episode is foreshadowing Sam's potential for the season. At the end of Damaged Goods, Sam's discussion with Nick reveals that the arc Nick has been on this season is foreshadowing what Dean's potential is. Nick is what will happen to Dean, just on a smaller scale. This helps the audience to grasp the stakes, to comprehend them. This all brings the season into a reversal of season 2, where Dean struggled with the orders from his dad to kill Sam if necessary. Now Sam is the one that has to consider whether his brother must die to save the world. No immediate fixes or just imagining suggestions for how this episode should have been, other than to say that Sam should have been more on screen, discussing the state of Dean with others. We should have been watching Dean's actions through Sam's eyes. As for the rest of Nick's story, it does seem kind of silly that back in the day, Mary was so desperate to hold Abraxas that she shoved him into a box and locked him away while freaking Nick, has an angel blade to kill the sucker as soon as he's able. This is why I make jokes about these things being available at the 99-cent store. On a side note, this all seems to be a different storage unit from John's. I think the locking stuff away is a cool idea for hunters and all, but I'm starting to wonder about this setup. For one thing, Mary was dead for 20 years, and she had stopped hunting before that, and her family had no idea she was a hunter. So how were payments maintained on that storage unit? Are the boys still maintaining John's? What about hunters that have been dead even longer? You know, there's an entire episode here. Storage Wars, but involving a hunter's old locker. In episode 1206, celebrating the life of Asa Fox, we got to see what a hunter's funeral was like. Let's take a week and examine the other bits of this world. Seriously, writers, take this idea free of charge. I don't object at all for you to run with this. Just give us a good episode is all I ask. So, on to Dean himself. Everything was there and in character, though I do question the box. His box, not Mary's box. And I don't question the design or the details, just that he was able to construct all this in one afternoon while his mom was making a grocery run. That thing should have taken 2 days at least. It's a shame the show didn't take advantage of this. If it was, say, half complete, we could have had a scene or two where Dean is working on it with others, giving us some character time while being visually interesting. I also wonder, in this episode, we see Dean, walking along, and then he has a moment where Michael bangs on the inside of his head and disorients him. But then later we see Dean sleeping. I'm kind of wondering how Dean can sleep without Michael getting out, or that Michael would even allow him to sleep. Remember when Sam was being tortured by visions of Lucifer back in season 7? One of those tortures being that Sam could never ever sleep, and that was just for fun. Michael here has a goal of getting out, so it seems like he would be more motivated to keep Dean awake and slowly wear him down more than Illusionifer. There was another missed brotherly moment there, having the two bond over an archangel torturing them mentally. Anyway, while I'm still primarily a Dean Anna shipper, this episode has kind of sold some... You'll be Donna. This episode has sold some Dean/Donna to me. I guess the name of that ship would be Double D. I mean, not just yet. I'd like to see a bit more interaction and chemistry between them, but I think there could be something there. Then again, I'm still kind of sore over Sam and Eileen. Celine? That never happening hurt me, so maybe something shouldn't happen here, since that could get Donna killed, and I don't have enough tissues for that to happen. Mary was, You'll be Mary, because any episode with you is 20% cooler. Mary was good too. I very much enjoyed the kind of chess game that she played with Nick, although the bit with her and Dean was odd. Not the scene itself. This was great, and everything I'd been wanting in the show since she came back. The problem is, since she came back, she apparently hung out with the boys for a couple weeks and then left. Then, after the British Men of Letters incidents, she was stuck in the crap world with only Jack for company. Then, since she's gotten back, Dean's been possessed with Michael. From what we've seen in the show, last time Mary had much time with Dean, he was 4 years old. I do not doubt the powers of motherly instinct, don't get me wrong, but it does seem a stretch that she sensed something was up with him when she doesn't even really know what's normal for Dean. Still, like I said, these were what I was hoping we'd get when Mary was first brought back, so I'm willing to overlook some script shenanigans to get great moments like this. So as I said, this is a 3-shell episode. But it was supposed to be a 3-shell episode. And it was the best 3-shell episode it could be. The writers had a goal, and in general, I think they accomplished it pretty well. Maybe could have gotten 3.5, 4 if they went with Sam as the focus, but really solid. I enjoyed it. Thank you for watching, and have a great day.